Let me
Yeah, yeah, it's
if I
better. It's
can.
better.
Is it better? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
How
How is everything
Yeah,
there?
it's okay. It's not bad. At least we are still alive, so everything is fine. And how about things in Ghana?
Yeah, we are managing. It's still tough here. It's still very difficult. We were locked down a few days ago. We got unlocked, so we
Yeah.
are out and about business as usual. I can
Yeah,
see
of
your
course.
hair is very
Normally I take
bushy.
it down every week,
You
but
are
right now
afraid
I
to
have to keep
visit the
it for at
barber.
least maybe one more month, and then see how I look with my new hairstyle.
Well, great. Thanks for joining on YST Media. And tell us, how is the whole situation in Europe like before the coming of this virus? Was it that believed it could bring football to a halt all of a sudden? And how are players taking it whether in Europe? Is it as serious as we read
To be
online
honest, yeah,
and
I feel
as
it's
we
very
hear
serious
on the
everywhere
internet and
because
also?
as you look at how it started and then where it's heading towards, you can see it have caused a lot of damage in terms of like investment, in terms of like the economic in general, because it's affecting the footballers, it's affecting businessmen, and then everyone. So everyone is affected by it, and then. And then the difficult part is we're still trying to find a vaccine for it, which is a little bit difficult because a lot of football seasons is still waiting for to hear there's a vaccine for it, and then we can continue. But right now, there's no positive news about the vaccine, so we are also just staying indoors and then hoping. But looking at the number of death that this virus have caused is something very serious, and then we have to take it very serious as well.
Yeah, great. Particularly with your club and the French league, what are some of the measures they've taken? Do they relate to you, the players? You receive daily messages on how to keep yourself safe. Some other measures that they are taking, especially when football will resume and many other things. Do you
Yeah,
receive
of
daily
course.
messages in
I
that
think
regard?
every club in the French league, normally the doctor always keep on checking on the players to make sure everyone is fine. And then also there are, as everyone can see, there are a lot of different training programs, and then there are a lot of like apps as well that we made like a video call, so we kind of have like a group training online and then all that, because everyone is still preparing just in case they we resume the league.
Well, it doesn't look like the league will resume anytime soon. Do you have a hint? Have you been hinted when possibly the French league will come back?
For me, I think anything can happen. Anything can happen. You just have to stay professional, keep training, so that when they say when we resume playing, hopefully you'll be ready to start straightforward, because we won't have enough time to go through like fitness and then all that. So I think is this is the time for us to stay professional and then keep working really hard.
Great. Personally, we come to your personal stuff. How has this season been before the halting of the league? How was your season moving to Strasbourg and the whole transfer that surrounded that, and what your season has become
For me, like I would
since you joined the
say,
club?
it's been good because looking back at when I was in Porto, when I joined here, I didn't play for a very long time, but when I came here, I started playing straight away, and then I think I was able to have a great start with my new club, and then I did very well with them as well, which I'm still hoping to continue to work very hard, and then still have a lot of success with my new team. But I'm happy here, and then I'm playing, and then I'm getting the opportunities that I needed or I deserve.
Well, you're still young, but you've traveled Europe, gone to Portugal, gone to Turkey, gone to Russia, now in France, you are in Sweden. It's been a sojourn in Europe. Uh, can you briefly tell us how these journeys have been? Your journey from Sweden to France and all those countries. What are some of the most significant things you pick in all these
I
countries
would
that
say,
you've
like,
played in?
as you said, it's been like a great journey for me, starting from England when I went to college. I feel like all these countries, they have a different culture. And then any country that you go, you have to make sure
Yeah.
you adapt to the culture. And then this is something very important that helps you to progress and then do very well. So I feel like they all have a different culture that you have to adapt to and then just continue your progressing. So even though I've been to a lot of different places, I've also gathered a lot of experience towards a lot of different things as well.
Great. Coming back to your time in Turkey, I've seen that a lot of Turkish fans have joined when you went to Trabzonspor. It looked like your career had started to plummet. Then you came back to France. Do you have a particular, feeling towards this Turkish fans? Because a lot of your followers, as I realized today, are from Turkey. What was so particular with your time in Turkey?
I feel like it's just a little bit kind of um photo, I would say, because most people, they knew I was. I remember when I was about to leave the Turkish club, the president was telling me like he doesn't want me to leave it because he believes in me, and then he believes if I leave to Lorient within a year, Lorient is going to sell me. You know, there are certain things that when you've been to a club and then you've worked so really hard that maybe you've not been given the opportunity by the coach for people to see you, then sometimes the fans see the abilities that you've got, they've seen the quality that you've got, and then they wish you stay longer. And then with me, all the clubs that I've been, that I've worked really hard, and then I feel like I've not got enough opportunity to play. I always have like another options, like another clubs trying to get me to come and play, and then which I cannot resist. So these are some of the problem. And then with the Turkish club, Turkish was like a very good club. Trabzonspor was one of the best clubs, and then I was happy there. But it's just that I was working so hard, and then I was not getting enough opportunity to to play a lot of games. And then this is when I had the opportunity to go to Lorient, and then I had to take it because I wanted to play. That's when I'm very happy. So it was a little bit difficult to leave the club because the president likes me and then he knows what I'm capable of doing. And then, but at the end, he just had to let me go because the French clubs was pushing so hard, and then he had no option than to let me go.
Excellent. Where do you think that in all these countries that you've played, where do you think you got the best of careers, even though you've not retired? But where do you think you got the best feeling ever in
For
all the
me,
six
like I
countries
would
or
say
seven that
in
you've played
all,
in?
because there are a lot of things I don't regret my decisions. I'm a kind of person that any decision that I take, I make sure even whatever be the case, there's a lot of positive things I can talk about it, and then I can learn from it. As you said, I'm still like in the process of learning, and then all the places I have been, even though some of the places it's been very difficult, but there's still a lot of positive things to take from it, and then that have helped me to develop a lot. So I will not say there's one place, but there are other places that I wish I would stay for longer. But it's just a process of learning and then development. So every state that you take, it's like you have to learn from it, and then you have to progress. Because sometimes when things are not right, you just have to take it and then work out why it did not work out, and then maybe you have to correct it in your next stage. So these are some of the things that I take into consideration when I'm moving.
Great. As a striker, so far, who is the toughest defender you've come up against in your career? Can be from the national team or the clubs you've played for.
Cavallo. Because I remember playing against him several times when he was playing for Monaco.
No, come again. Come again. I think there was a little hitch there. Who was the defender?
Yeah, right. Because he was so
Cavallo, former Real Madrid.
Okay. He knows you are fast, and then he will never let you turn. And then even when you turn, he have a way like to either slow you down or make sure. Yeah, hello?
Okay. But also from Cavallo has been the toughest defender that you've come up against. But who has been your best striking partner?
It's difficult to mention because I've played a lot of different positions around a lot of different people. So it's kind of difficult to mention only one because I've played with some good strikers that they make good use of your balls all the time. And then with me, I don't really have one person that I always admire a lot, but I always try to have few people that I can have like a good relationship with on the field, I mean. So I cannot really choose one, but there are a lot of few people I can say I've played with, and then like I really enjoy it. For example, I remember my days when I remember when I played with Salah in Nantes, and then I play with Koulibaly, I play with Munkanjo, I play with Asamoah, and then I had like a very good relationship in the field with them. So I can say I enjoy all, but I cannot like really select one. This one was the best or anyone.
Great. This was a question I was coming to, and you mentioned last year was very difficult. Emiliano Sala's death, striker that you played with. How was it for a player you played with, shared the same dressing room, and sometimes team bus, getting to know in the news that he's had a plane crash? How did you take it personally, and for the other players in the Nantes team?
Will always be in my heart forever. Because we went through one of like the difficult part in our career, all of us, including like the president, the fans, and then everyone. It was actually very difficult, and then even though like we managed to come out of the relegation zone and then all that, but it was actually very difficult because it's like seeing someone every day, and then the next day you hear the person is gone. So to be honest, I don't really want to talk much about it, but it's always a very sad moment. And then I will always like think about him, and then like the club, and then what we went through. So yeah.
Great, but there are players in the Nantes team who I think that have spoken about the kind of, frights they went through after his death. Did it also occur to you as a normal human being that you got scared?
Of course. You always get scared
getting on flights
when it comes to things like this. Because the funny thing is that, like, before he even left, we were taking flight with him almost like every week. We were traveling with flight every week, like maybe every 2 weeks we were traveling. Because at that stage we were playing a lot of cup games and then a lot of league games as well. So imagine every 3 days we were taking like a private flight, traveling, and then all that. So and then this happened to him. So it's like your life, you are not even sure about what is happening with your life, but we cannot say much than to say like just leave it and then pray, to be honest.
Okay, good one. You went to Porto. A lot of Ghanaians were very excited, especially your fans, because that was a big club. You were in the Champions League. But what went wrong at Porto? I'm sure that it's a club that you would
Yeah.
have wanted to stay a bit longer with. But
To be
what
honest,
really went wrong with
I felt like,
the
as
club?
I said, Porto is like one of the biggest clubs, as everyone knows. Very good club, play Champions League, and then like play a lot of always in the top two, I would say, in the Portuguese league. But you know, sometimes it's different when you are young. You still think like maybe you need some time. But when you feel like, for me, I feel like I'm in the state that I have to play games. And then when I go to like a club like this, and then I've not been getting the opportunity to play enough games, then it's kind of like a little bit difficult. So this is something like I was demanding, like, you know, to play games. And then I had like some good clubs as well that wanted me to come and play games. And then I'm living there alone, and then playing games is something that makes me very happy. So if I'm not getting the games to play, then I'm kind of thinking like it's a little bit difficult.
Good. But do you have any special? You play for clubs though in Europe, but do you have a club that you would want to play for one day before you
I
retire
think
in Europe?
now I think I'm going like this. Maybe before I stop, I have to come back like this. You know, right now I'm ascending. Maybe before I stop, I have to descend. There are a lot of very good clubs that I played even like when I started. For example, looking at my time in Hecken, when they picked me up from college, looking at my time in Valenciennes. You know, these are some of the things that I played that I was very happy. You know, it was not all about, you know, money, but it was about the excitement, you know, the joy around the football, and then everything. And then it's good.
Good.
Yeah.
And also, you don't want to mention particularly, but when players are signed to bigger clubs, they are always talking about the fact that this is a
Yeah, but
club that
the
I've
thing is with
supported
me,
since
I don't
childhood.
really
You
have
don't
such
have
clubs
any
because
such clubs
I
in
didn't really
hearts.
started as a professional footballer, because I started as a student category. You always have like a different mentality towards things as well. So I think this is one of the reasons why I don't have like exactly one club or one player that I admire a lot.
Okay, great. But is there a player that you look up to? A particular
Yeah,
player that's
there are
who
players.
inspired you
That's
even
why I
before
said
you
like I don't
started the
really.
game?
I remember at the beginning when I was playing as number 9. I don't really have one player, but I have quite few players that I like to watch, because at that time I like to watch players like Torres, how he run with defenders. I like to watch Chicharito with his movement. You know, all I like to watch Suarez with like how you protect the ball, the finishing. So I had a lot of players that I was watching to try to put myself in this kind of category, and then try to learn something from them. But I just don't really have like exactly one player that I was like all the time I have to see him, I have to see him.
Well, was there a move that you were so excited in your career? Was there a move that you were particularly excited about going to join this club because of things that you've heard about the club, or what you went to see, and when it finally happened, you really admitted us, I mean, had to something that you prayed for and it came to pass, joining a
Yeah,
particular
for
club
me, I
because of
think all
what
the
you've heard
clubs I've
about
moved
them,
to,
even before
um,
joining?
because for a club to even say they want you, then you should be happy, because it means you are doing something very right. So if a club, for you moving to a club, if you are not happy, then maybe you should not move. So for me, all the clubs, I was very happy that I've moved to all the clubs, and then
Yeah.
right now I'm here in Strasbourg as well. I'm very happy. So all the class I have moved, I was like, it's something like I always dream to move, learn something new, you know, and then move on.
Which manager has had a great influence in your career so far?
I think from my early days, I would say maybe I think all the stages I have taken, I've added something into my game. All the stages, because like I've been moved. Like right now, I've played a lot of different positions, and then all the managers that I've like, they try to make sure I adapt into the new positions, which I'm doing very well. So I think with all of them, they've added a lot of impact in my performance in the field. But I remember like my early days in BK Haken, the coach, I used to come down to take the ball, and then the coach was always like, "You are too fast. Don't even waste your energy. Stay in the back line and then just run behind the defenders." And then right now I'm playing exactly different positions. The coach is giving me different tactical advice. So I think they are all adding a lot of positive things into my performance.
Well, there were times that we heard about a move to Newcastle, a move to Watford, a move to the Italian Serie A. Were these just mere rumors, or you've had, links to the Premiership before?
Actually, I nearly moved to UK. Even though I actually went to UK to make like a private team meeting with one of the clubs, and then one of the coaches as well. We had like a meeting. That was my time in Lorient. We had a meeting. We had a lot of discussion about me joining the club, and then everything was okay. So I came back to France, and then I got to realize things didn't happen. So I was not happy, to be honest.
Good. Well, what's the perception of, you've played in, most countries in Europe. What's the perception of Europeans and those you've played, the teams you've played in, towards Ghanaian players? How do they perceive you there?
They've seen what I've done. For example, the France here, they've seen what I've done. They've seen what few Ghanaians have done here as well. And then they have a big respect for Ghanaians because they've seen our performance, and then they've seen our attitude as well. So I think this is something. It's not only about the performance, because right now, for you to move to a new club, they ask a lot about your attitude, your attitude on and off the field, and then all that. So I think it's not only about the performance, but they ask a lot of questions regarding your personal life as well.
Okay, but your time in the national team, and lots of people have said your time in the national team, you haven't been particularly lucky in the national team. Please, from your own perspective, do you think that people have been fair to you when it comes to the national team, the Black Stars?
No, I'm not lucky, because I feel like it's not like I'm not lucky. I just feel like, I saw someone like Wakaso making a comment. There's like political aspect affecting the Black Star, which is affecting the performance. And then I feel like it's not a political thing that is affecting the performance, because the politics doesn't play football. It's the players that perform on the field. So politics doesn't affect the performance, but with the national team, the politics affects the selection of the players. That's when it affects. And then with me, like, they call me to the national team because I'm doing very well in Europe, not knowing anyone or not having anyone. I'm always the scapegoat that they can drop. They've dropped me for even like players who doesn't even play a whole season, and then with me, who have played a full season, scoring a lot of goals, and then they still drop me. Are you going to tell me it's lucky or it's not lucky? So for me, I feel like this is not about lucky or anything, but I feel like the political aspect of selection of players is something that is affecting more of the black star. It's not about a lucky, but that is the other side. But the playing side is something different that is affecting. I've been around the national team a lot to know some of the things that is affecting the black star, but the political aspect is affecting the selection of the team or the selection.
You think that selections are not done? The selection is, in your opinion, sometimes it's not done based on merit, and that is their political appointments.
Only based on political aspect. It's not based on your performance. So this is something like we have to understand. It's not based on your performance. It's only based on the political aspect. For example, like the tournaments, and then I think it affects more of the tournaments when it comes to tournaments, and then all that, because that's the biggest stage that everyone wants to be part, and then that's when the politics actually get in a lot. But with other aspects in terms of playing the tournament, I feel like the politics have nothing to do with the players playing on the field.
Well, which of the exclusions really got to you, really hurt you? Not saying that you regretted, but which of the exclusions, particularly the 2019 AFCON, you were touted to be one of the best strikers, you were dropped last minute. 2015 AFCON, you were the top scorer, the top Ghanaian scorer in Europe, you were dropped. Which of them really got to you for you to realize that you've been the scapegoat in the national team for most of the times?
I wouldn't say like it got to me a lot. I felt like they should have just tell me, and then for example the recently one, the one they dropped me in the final minute, like no coach or no one like actually told me what was happening exactly. I got to hear it in the media. So exactly, I was not told I was dropped.
You were not told that you've dropped. You heard it in the media.
Who have had like a fantastic season, and then you just wasted my holidays. Maybe I should have been in somewhere for like holidays, you know. And then I wouldn't say like I was angry, but I just picked my bags. I didn't speak to anyone, and then I left. I went and I got myself in a different hotel, and then I have my own reason. For not for leaving, because I remember the first time they dropped me. I was told by Coach Maxwell or someone, to thank Abraham Graham for dropping me. Like I didn't understand it, so I just have to leave because I didn't want to say anything that later it will be like maybe you've said anything, you've said that. So I just left.
So you were told by the assistant coach to thank the coach for dropping you. For what reason?
So like for me, like I felt it's normal.
Wow.
It's normal. Like sometimes they call players, they drop them. There are a lot of big players they've even dropped. I was just one of the players who was also hoping to work very hard for the nation. And then for me to drop me, it's not a big thing for me, because whatever be the case, someone have to be dropped. But just call me and then tell me, okay, we are dropping you. This is the reason, and then this is that, and then you drop me. I will understand that, and then I will respect you, and then I will leave.
Will you say that because you do not have, quotes in quotes, a godfather in the team, that's why you've been used as a scapegoat for most of this time?
I think there's something fishy behind everything. And then as I said, I've been called into the national team because of my performance in my club. So for them to drop me in this kind of stages, I know maybe there's something behind it.
What's your relationship with Coach Kwesi Appiah? The recent, exclusion was as a result of his decision. What's your relationship with him?
I always like do what he wanted me to do in the field. We always have like a very good conversation. but I felt like maybe I felt like he was overpowered. He was overpowered to drop me. Yeah, maybe that's why I said maybe.
So it wasn't his
Maybe he was
decision, in your
overpowered
opinion?
to drop me because of what I was saying about the political aspect of the selection. Because yeah, because like some of the dropping that they
Somebody
did,
somewhere may have told him to drop you.
like I didn't understand. But for me, as I said, it's normal because they have to drop someone. But to go to the extent like not having like a proper reason, then it means like there's something behind it. But I don't know. That's why I said maybe he was overpowered to drop me. Maybe it was his decision, but there was no like clear explanation towards everything.
Well, what do you, I mean, how do you feel in camp with all this, I would say, not being unlucky, but the treatment you've suffered, the national team, the injuries? How do you feel when it comes to the national team camp?
My family always used to tell me nothing comes easy. You have to make a sacrifice for it. And then I felt like it's a sacrifice I have to do. And then sometimes you have to be lucky to be selected to make that sacrifice for the nation. So with me, with the national team, I know it's not been easy. It's been like a lot of injuries and then a lot of things with the national team. But I feel like there's a lot of things that is affecting the national team. And then like I pray and then I hope there's a lot of good changes because the Ghanaians, we deserve better, I would say.
Well, what has been your most memorable match for Ghana?
It was like 5-2 or something in Accra, in Kumasi. Yeah, 6-1. Sorry, 6-1. Yeah, 6-1. Yep. And then that was like
6-1.
The qualification to the World Cup in Brazil.
Yeah, I remember you scored in that goal. But after your first 4 matches for the Black Stars, you had 3 goals. And Samuel Jan came out to say you were the next anointed striker, you were the best partner. That was it. After that comment, that Waris is the next in line to replace me, and I love the way he plays, I love him up front together with myself. That was it. Do you think that it had any impact in your career? Did they invite some troubles for you?
Say yes and then no. And then no, because the reason why I said yes, and then no, it just created a little bit of like rivalry in the camp, you know. And then it also I don't want to mention names, but
between you and who?
A little bit of, you know, who is this guy, and then who.
Yes.
Like I remember, for example, I don't want, like, I'm trying to. There are certain things I don't want to mention because that will cause some problems. So I remember, like, one time they were like,
yes.
Who is this guy? Why did he even score? Why does he even have to score? And then that is when I started to realize there's a lot of hatred in the national team. Yeah.
People in the team were asking why you even score.
Jealousy, and then there's a lot of hatred in the national team, and then you just have to be careful. So, and then even if you look at after that, it was things start to change a little bit. So, and then I think that was like after the World Cup when I had that serious injury, like that was like something very serious, career-ending injury, which I suffered a lot. Like took me like almost a year to get back.
Well, this suggests that it is not all that rosy, and we love ourselves in camp. We are so united. It's not like that when the picture is being painted and when When you come to the Black Stars,
No,
everybody loves
yeah.
you. We love ourselves. We play
To be
together. It's not all that rosy.
like,
There are jealousy and a
I
lot
think
of
our
things in
love
camp.
is just when we come out, but in our heart, there's not that love. And then this is one of the biggest thing that is challenging the national team. Not in the heart. Not in the heart, to be honest.
There is no love.
No.
They say it, but not within their hearts. Because if you score, it's to the advantage of Ghana. So
Yeah,
why would somebody decide to say, why is he scoring and we have to be jealous for him? They look at you with some sort of eyes.
Like, most people prefer personal glory than the team glory when we play a match. So most people prefer personal glory than the team glory, and then that is one of the reasons that is affecting individuals.
They would want to score and celebrate and get instead of the national team winning matches. Well, very interesting. Would you still want to fight for your place in the team? I mean, there is a new coach. Have you got in contact with him, CK Akono, and what do you think of him?
There's some Ghanaian. There's a Ghanaian here as well. He came to watch our game against Lyon. We played 1-1. I had a few conversations with him. For me, like, I'm still playing. I'm here in Strasbourg. I'm very here. I'm playing a lot of games, and then I'm doing really well with the team. The team is doing very well as well. And then if they call me and then I'm 100% fit, and then I feel like I'm okay to fight for the nation and then give 100% to the nation, of course, why not? I will come.
Great. What do you want to achieve for, I mean, in your career? I would want you to be specific with the club.
I don't think I have anything
and also
to achieve.
Ghana.
I just want to be happy. And then I don't know. What do I want to achieve? To be honest, I don't know. I just want to be happy. Just play games, enjoy what I love doing, which is playing football, and then just be happy. I think that is the only thing I want to achieve. Be happy.
Well, do you think that the current crop of players in the national team, you are capable of winning the African Cup before you expire?
Can never say there's always a great chance of us winning it, because if you look at individually and then as a group, Ghana, we are kind of like a team that we does not have like individual big stars. Like, we don't really have like a person that you can call like a very, very big star in the team. Like, but as a team, as a group, we have like one of the best group in Africa. So if we are able to put things in the right place, then we've got like a big chance of winning. Why not? But it's just a matter of playing. For me, I feel
so
like
as a player, what are some of the things you think should be put in place?
Because, for example, like the selection of the players, it have to be according to the performance, not a political aspect. Sometimes there's politics, and then it's everywhere. But it's just that sometimes it's too clear. And then just basic things in terms of like the camping, in terms of the medical staff, in terms of this, just basic things. And then Africans, sometimes we start to think certain things are not important, for like sleeping early, preparation towards games. These are some of the things that are very important, and then we have to take all that into consideration.
Good. As I said, there is a new coach in camp. You have said you'll be ready anytime the coach invites you to come and play. But playing for the national, yeah. Okay, but what's your most memorable goal in your career? A goal that's, I mean, you
I've
routinely
scored a lot of
recollect
goals, but
and
I
feel
think
excited
I
about
remember
scoring.
when the love of football was in Ghana. I remember our game against Zambia in Kumasi. I don't know. I think I scored. I think I got like a
Yeah.
rebound ball from John Boy or something like that. I scored, and then if you look at the joy, the happiness in the stadium, like it was so emotional. Like I actually felt like crying. So I think this is because the stadium was packed, the vuvuzela, everyone was happy. Then you start to wonder about certain things. So I think this is something I always remember.
Okay. There were, I mean, rumors recently that a lot of Chinese clubs are after you. A lot of Chinese clubs are after everybody anyway. Do you intend playing in China? One day, Wakasu has gone there. There are players in the national team who have moved there even at a very tender age. Do you
No, for
reckon
me,
you may
I
one day
feel
move
like
to
every
China, or
country, as I
is a
said
venue
earlier,
or a
every
destination you don't
country
like?
have their own culture, and then I'm someone who is like very open-minded, and then I always want to learn a new things, learn a new culture. At least maybe one day when I also stop playing, I'll be able to tell people, I'll be able to help people with experience of what I've gathered around the world. So why not? There's always a possibilities if there's a great opportunity for me to go there, play and play the football there, and then learn a new culture. Then there's always another opportunity for me. But I think I don't know. Then I think
Okay. Somebody is asking if you would want to, what would you want to do after football? A coach, administrator? Would you want to be
this
seen in
is
the
a
dugouts
very good
when you
question.
retire?
I've just enrolled myself into some courses online, and then which I'm taking very serious as well. I actually started the coaching courses back in my
Is it
college
coaching
days,
course?
which is very interested. But I think I don't want to be. I don't think I want to be too much involved in football, because there are a lot of people who are not honest, who are not telling the truth, who lie about a lot of things, and then I don't think I want to be involved in this kind of things when I stop playing. I want to be more like a business person, a family person, and then more like a religious person as well. Because at this point, we are more like some people. We are more like people who travel a lot, and then we don't have a lot of time for a lot of things. So when I stop playing football, I want to be more like a business person, that I can get involved in few things, and then still have like a very good life.
Good, but you are one of the few Ghanaian players in Europe with a very high market value. Despite all the up and downs, if you check, you are in the top 2 or top 3 of the players with a very high market value. How do you do this? Is it because you have a very strong
For me, I think it
agency,
all comes
or
down to like just
how
working
is
very
that
hard and then
possible?
praying towards things, and then keeping my circle very small and then tight, because there are a lot of things, a lot of places I've been through, that if I was not like mentally strong, it would have just finished my career. But by the grace of God, I've been like someone who have got like a very strong mental, like very strong like mentality in terms of going through hard times, and then yeah, I think I'm just that kind of person.
Good. Let me come back to this before we end the whole session. You have a foundation helping people, particularly in your hometown, back home in Tamale and its environs. You have a foundation. Can you, elaborate what your foundation does and why?
For me,
what inspired you to take up something like that?
Looking at back in our academy days in Right to Dream, we always speak about giving back to the community, giving back to this, society, and then everything. I felt like people have helped me a lot to get to where I am. And then at this highest stage, I think it's time for me to also to give back to the community, to give back to Ghanaians. And then this was one of the motive reasons behind the setting up the foundation, to try and help as much as I can, to also make sure people knows, to make sure people also feel happy with the foundation in general. So this was one of the reasons why I set up the foundation. Then we've been doing very well in terms of helping out and then doing a lot of positive things in the society.
Well, and what would you say has been the most inspirational sort of donation or move that you've taken with the foundation that touched you so much?
It doesn't matter. Some maybe it can be like you give someone just one CD and then you are happy. You are the happiest person in this world. It doesn't matter how much you give or how much you help, but I think all the things that I have done is something that I'm doing from my heart, and then I always feel very happy when I do something like that. So I think I'm happy with all the donations and then all the helps I'm giving back to the society, and then as Ghana in general.
Okay. Somebody has been asking, who is your best friend in the national team?
I would say I have like quite good friends like Christian Achu. I'm close with Christian Achu, and then apart from that, I don't really have a best friend, because I have like Fatau Dauda, I have Rashid Sumaila, who are all my good friends. But apart from them, I don't have a best friend. Like Baba Rahman is there as well, but he's been out for some time. But apart from them, I don't really have a best friend there.
Which means that you were not interested in this camps in the national team. There is a Asamoah camp or the DIU camp. You are not interested in this one.
I just know most of them are like a lot of people. They just pretend like they like you, but they don't like you in their heart. So if I find out something like this, I don't even get I just see you, I laugh, and then I turn away. I don't even have time for you, because I'm happy. If aside the national team, I'm someone who have done very well for myself personally. So I don't think this is the time for you to come to national team to want to prove to me like you are big, you are this. I'm also someone in my club, and I'm happy with what I'm doing with my club. So if I know you don't like me or you are pretending, I don't care. It's normal. It's normal. You can choose not to like everyone, but I will just pull myself. I will not even say a word or anything. I'll just pull myself away.
Well, good. So your final passing comments to your fans who are listening and watching in Ghana and across the world, especially on this COVID,
thanks to everyone.
Show some love to them.
Support and then everything. I always have everyone in heart, and then at this point of very difficult period for all of us, I encourage everyone to just stay home, take very good care of them, and then their family. We will also try to make sure we help as much as we can, and then inshallah we will all come out very successful and then happy again. We know it's very difficult, but by the grace of God, we will come back very happy again.
Thank you very much. Before I leave you, somebody wants to prepare your favorite meal for you when you come back to Ghana. So you are going to tell them why you eat most when you come back to Ghana. Your favorite food when you are in Ghana?
But you should be very careful.
No, the Dagomba one.
Of food, because I can cook very well, and if you don't cook it very well, I will just say it.
Okay. Okay, but I'm sure the person is going to cook well. So you just have to mention it. We buy the ingredients and prepare for you when you come down. Okay.
Ooh.
So what do you eat most when you come down?
Normally, you want me to tell you my daily routine? Normally, when I wake up in the morning, I go to run in the beach. And then early in the morning, before I go to the beach, I will take the fresh coconuts. Maybe I can drink like maybe 2 or 3. And then after beach, then I'll pass by Auntie Muni. Auntie Muni. Who is like my auntie? Apparently,
Auntie Muni. Okay, you eat a lot of water.
I don't go because when I go, he gave me too much food for free. So I will send my brothers. They will take, and then so that would be like around 10, 11. So I will make the breakfast and then lunch kind of together, and then in the evening I can have my chuzafi, and then like not in the evening because I don't really eat late in the evening. So around 4, I can have a little bit of chuzafi, and then in the evening I can just have some. I can make some small gym in my house. That I've got like a gym in my house. I can make small gym, and then I can just take some fruit, and then I can sleep.
Good.
All right.
Sounds like a good routine. We'll be waiting for you when you come to Ghana. And good luck there. Our regards to everyone and prayers for you for when the season resumes. We know you are going to, bang in the goals as usual. Good luck, man. Yeah.